Hi Flosstube, this is Lori of Mischievous Stitches. As some of you know, I went on a weekend road trip to a new to us needle workshop, Sassy Jack Stitchery in Weaverville, North Carolina. I picked up several items while I was there. I had a couple of shopping trips for some antique stores with my friend Yvonne, and I want to show you some of the things that come home with me. I will start off with my haul. I'll just say my purchases from the Stitch Shop. I got a couple of the new market pieces. The first is Winter Past by Blackbird Designs, and I have the fabric and threads for that. Look at the color. It looks kind of washed out, black, gray, but this is the colors. Do you think that picture does it justice? But that's my first piece. I also got the new Jeanette Douglas piece. I did not get the threads because I'm pretty sure I probably have most of them. This is the piece, Vintage Birds. Love the peacock, but I believe this bird here is my favorite. We'll see when I start stitching it, but look, Cretia, it's an alphabet. And I got a piece of antique ivory to stitch that on. No threads. I also I can show the pattern of this because it's a freebie design from Plum Street Sampler. It's called Coffin, I think it's Coffin Buzz. Yes, Coffin Buzz. I bought the fabric and threads for that. I bought Stars Hollow from R&R Reproductions and Grapevine. I couldn't find a coffee named thread that I would like, or any browns, but the grays and the blacks in this Grapevine were perfect. What else? I showed you this pattern in one of my previous videos. I bought the thread and the fabric for that. I did change the colors. It calls for black. And I got one of the Week Style Works, which I've said before is my favorite. I got tin roof, 36 count tin roof with, it was St. Patty's Day when we shopped, so I got this thread. Perfect. Just what I wanted. Very happy to find that. Nikki of Nikki's Creation was also at the shop that day, and unfortunately she popped out at some point while I was shopping, and I didn't get a chance to introduce myself and speak to her, but just in case she's watching this video, it was great at least to see you across the room. I loved the trunk show. She brought many of her items, and this is the one that I got. Cretia, it's another alphabet. And this is one of Nikki's new fabrics. Don't you just love this gingham? I did not get the threads, but this is, the gingham is not what's used in her model. I did get to see the model, but she had several of the house, like a sewing house and quilting house, on display there as well on this fabric. I had to have it. And is that it? I do believe that's it. And I'm okay with that because, you know, I kind of broke the bank. Usually when I go shopping with friends, we do a little game, and it really doesn't matter which of my stitch friends I go with and who was the winner as far as who spent the most money. Not really a winner, but it's actually who did the most damage is what we play. All right. Oh, I did pick these up as well. These are Hands Across the Sea samplers, but they're cute little cards. So I have a couple friends that I wanted to send a card to, Stitch Friends, and so I bought a couple cards. I also got a chance Friday night. Yvonne and I stayed up till 2 a.m., which it is so wonderful to sit and stitch with a friend. You just chat. We actually sat down, talked for a few hours, pulled out my Kindle, pulled up Flosstube. We watched Vanna's new video. Oh my, she had us rolling with laughter. just hilarious. We also watched The Crafty Curator. She's a new to me Flosstuber. Just started watching this week. Love her as well. So those are my 2 shout outs for the week. Most of you watch Vanna, but if you do not watch The Crafty Curator, go check her out. This is my update on the vintage hat, Lady in the Hat. This is the pattern. And this is where I am. I did choose to stitch it, leave it at 1/2 on 32 count. Love it. So I'm hoping to finish. This is I'm almost to the bottom of the first page. So I think there's a total of 6. So I'm happy about that. We also went junking on both Friday and Saturday. Friday after shopping at the shop and having lunch with our friends Michelle and Chris. And we found there's a huge antique district there in Asheville, North Carolina. If you've never been, you enjoy that kind of thing, it's a great place for junking and antiquing. I found another table runner I want to share with you. I'd never, until finding the first one that I showed on my first friendship video, I had not seen these. Maybe I'd seen them and they just never caught my eye, but look at the beauty of this piece. It has a little water damage on what will be your left-hand side, but I'm hoping I can get some antique linen cleaner and try to get that out. It's here, so it may not be your left, it's your right. I want to give you a close-up of the actual stitching, cross-stitching again, and this is a piece of linen. So this lady or gentleman that stitched this just folded over the edge 1/4 of an inch and did a decorator stitch over the edge. And this is their table runner. I've not seen any modern stitcher, modern to us now, stitch a runner in this way. I am very happy to have this piece, and I will find somewhere to display it. It deserves to be displayed. I also picked up an antique iron. You know, I could use this in self-defense. If someone ever broke into my home to get into my cross-stitch stash, this will be great for that. I also picked up 2 wooden spools. It looks like they have rayon thread on there. I picked these up because I've seen, I believe in the Prim Stitchers Facebook group, that some of the ladies will stitch a small piece, maybe an over one piece, and finish it around the spools. I'm not going to use these for that type of finishing. I like that it has tattered pieces of thread on there, so I'm going to leave them as they are. I also picked up a glass frog. If you've not seen those before, I know a lot of people in some of the other stitch groups. My daughter Chelsea's easing through the room. I'm going to ask her to come over and tell everyone hi. Tell everyone on Flosstube hello.
Hi y'all.
But this is a frog, and I've seen some of the other ladies use this to display their scissors or their scissors fobs. Never seen one, wanted one, found this one, snapped it up, and found like 10 more after that, but I only needed the one. Flashing backwards to last weekend, I showed you all the Seize the Day piece from Hands On Designs that I had finished and was going to finish on the wooden frame. I have not gotten it finished as of yet, but this is the frame. I planned on painting this with an underlying gray and then using the white crackle paint over the top. Could not find the crackle paint. Not Hobby Lobby, Walmart, a couple of other places. But so I just made a base of the white paint, went over it with some streaks of gray, back over it with white to kind of streak it a little. But this is what I have at the moment, and hopefully by my next video I will have a finished Seize the Day piece. As a backup, in case that doesn't work, I found this at Walmart looking for the paint. So it's just burlap over a frame, just in case anyone's interested or has something that they think would work well. Walmart, $4. Check it out. One last thing I picked up this weekend I'm very excited about. I found a wooden sewing chest. I do not know the age on it. I want to say it's from maybe the 1920s or 30s, which is my favorite time period. It's a wooden sewing chest with a sliding tray, and I've washed that sweet girl up this morning with some wood soap and oiled her down with some oil, and I'm going to show her to you now. Here she is. Both of the doors, there's a door here and here, lift up, and like I said, there's a sliding tray. I'm so glad to have her. Everyone, enjoy the remainder of your weekend. Thanks for stopping by, watching my video, for all the amazing comments, and Vanna, the awesome shout out you did this week. Thank you very much. Everyone, goodbye. Hugs and stitches.